All right, hi guys. Welcome back to our weekly trading forecast for the week of 26th of October to 30th of October. So this will be the last week for the month of October. So do take note that since it is going to be the last week, it also means to say the monthly candle is going to close for the week. So going forward towards the end of the week, definitely there will be the market movement will be more uncertain in a way. So try not to take big positions during towards the end of the week. And of course, most importantly, going forward on the 3rd of November will be the election for the US, between President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. So this coming week will be pretty interesting. A lot of things for us to take note. So let me just go to my screen first. So firstly, if we look at the economic calendar, so on Monday there's the Germany business climate, Tuesday durable goods orders, then BOC interest rate decision on the 28th of October. So those who are trading Canadian dollar, make sure to take note of this. Consumer confidence for the Japan, and then we have the GDP growth rates for the US, very important data. And of course, a lot of other GDP growth rate for the Eurozone. These are some of the most important ones, but a few that was not shown right here in trading economics. If you go to Forex Factory, there are other two that's really important, which is number one, the BOJ outlook report and their monetary policy statement, and of course, most importantly, the Eurozone ECB monetary policy statement, and of course, their press conference at 9:30 p.m. I'll just take note that today we are going to have the daylight saving time shift. The timing will be shift backwards. Okay, it's not 8:30 anymore. It's going to be 9:30. All right, so first of all, let's take a look at the dollar index. And so what happened last week is that we saw that the dollar index actually fell even further, and it even broke below the previous low right here at 93. And after which there is a inside bar formation that's formed right here. All right, in the day chart. So this is something to take note of. If let's say the price breaks upwards of this inside bar, then we are going to expect the dollar to climb a little further. Let's go into a smaller time frame in the 4-hourly charts. So in the 4-hourly charts, what I can see right here is that the price has created a downtrend. Okay, a bearish trend right here. There's already it has completed one wave of pullbacks, and right now is just going sideways. So usually in this case, I would definitely expect the market to pull back one more wave. It could be back to the previous high right here, or it can just complete another equal volume of a pullback as compared to the previous wave right here. So if that is the case, that might bring the market price all the way back to the top of this minor falling channel, or in fact in the larger time frame, in the bigger time frame, in the day charts, you will come back to the top of a 7-month falling channel. All right, so that would be a very important resistance, or I would say also a supply zone that we should watch out for the dollar. I think there's a good chance for the dollar to strengthen in this week as we get closer to the US election, because uncertainty will be around, and risk sentiment will increase. Therefore, increase in the demand of safe haven assets such as dollar, and of course other safe haven currency and assets as well. So this week for the dollar, we'll just wait and see. If let's say we're expecting the price to pull back, then the first support that we have right now is right here at 92.7. Slightly lower will be somewhere here. So this itself will create a demand zone for us. So right now, the price is sitting at the demand zone. So in between 92.7 to 92.6. So if the price is able to continue to get supports right here throughout, let's say Monday, Tuesday, or all the way to Wednesday, most likely we are going to expect a pullback right here. So if that's the case, this week, for the first half of the week, we might want to be a bit more biased on a bullish dollar. right, in the shorter time frame. But of course, if the price were to break below, then there would be a different story. Then we'll want to see if it pulls back, is it going to get resisted and continues to fall or not. With that, we'll come over to look at the euro dollar. So one thing to take note is that this week there will be the ECB press conference. The last thing that I know about ECB press conference is they are actually prepared to go deeper into negative rates. So watch out for this ECB press conference for clues that they might really want to, adopt a deeper negative interest rate. And of course, that will definitely cause the euro to depreciate even further. And so first thing you want to know is that right now, the euro dollar in the monthly charts, it is still trading at the 12-year, it's actually more than 12-year, all right, a 12-year falling trend line. So this trend line itself has been kind of a breach 2 months ago. But last month, it actually reversed, came down back below the falling trend line. And this month so far, it is still trading within the previous month candle. And if this month itself, which is the coming week itself, if let's say euro dollar is not able to close above the resistance level right here at 1.1936 or the opening price of the previous month in September, chances are it might continue to depreciate. All right, and that we want to match it with the fundamental factors going forward for the ECB. And if you look at the previous high right here, I think this looks quite similar to me, right? Price went up, okay, somewhere near the falling trend line. It reversed, okay, but pulled back a bit further. After that, in the following month, it came all the way down, and eventually it just spiraled down into another bearish trend for the next couple of months. So in the daily charts, one thing is that this trend line has been broken previously, okay, which is why the euro dollar has pulled back one wave, and it is now in the second wave. Okay, so it may continue to pull up to pull back even further, or it may also start to come down in the beginning of this week. So we're going to see what's going to happen. So that also can bring us to the 4-hourly chart. And I think the first thing we can do is actually to, plot a channel right here. All right, it actually fits pretty well. So so in the 4-hourly chart, we can see that there's already 2 waves of a pullback for the euro against US dollar. So first thing we can actually look out for is that if it will actually form a double top, okay, in the 4-hourly chart right here, pretty important level from what I see is actually a supply zone right here. Okay, I will put it somewhere higher, okay, based on the candlestick formation right here. Okay, so it's not very far. So if it's able to form a double top, okay, then that's something that we could consider to actually sell the euro against US dollar. Or if it goes up higher, okay, back to the top of this rising channel, then this is the next level we can do to sell the euro against US dollar. But let's say if it goes up even further and breaks higher, then we want to wait for further confirmation. Either it really start to reverse strongly, or if it actually breaks even higher, then that will change the major trend. All right, going forward, I want to pass my time over to JJ to share his trading plan for this week. So JJ.
So we can see, as discussed previously, dollar CAD after breaking out of this 6-month downward trend line, after just 2 waves, it hit a very strong resistance level and started to come down. And this week, for the past 5, on the smaller time frame, we can see that price has been supported at this level multiple times. So this week, if price could come back into this level, and if we see support, and also watching the dollar index, if we are bullish on the dollar, we could look to buy dollar CAD at this level of about around 0.30 to 31. And as we can see, US oil, because the Canadian market is heavily correlated with the oil price, after price, the oil price came and broke below this channel, it has been trading in this range. And as mentioned last week oil price was actually trading near the top of the range, and it actually got resisted and it started coming down. So if oil prices are to continue going down, then definitely the Canadian dollar would weaken and dollar CAD would appreciate. Next would be Kiwi dollar. Kiwi dollar, just a quick recap. After forming a double top early September, it broke out of this trend line that started in March, so it's about 7 months. And as you can see, after price broke out of the trend line, and it got supported here at this level, which is a level that got resisted and supported multiple times previously. It hasn't really been forming a strong uptrend, but rather more of a retracement channel. So we can see as of now, price has actually tested the top of this channel 3 times, and is now currently trading within this supply zone. So this week, I will be looking to sell the Kiwi dollar and at least back to the bottom of this retracement channel. So if on Monday when market opens, price were to get continue getting resisted here, we could definitely look to sell, and we could look to take profit when price comes down and reaches the bottom of the retracement channel. So this will be the 2 pairs I'll be focusing on.
All right, thanks JJ for sharing. All right, next, let's talk about the gold. So last week there wasn't really much changes, or in fact it actually came back all the way back to same opening price of previous weeks. So in the day charts, we do see that the gold actually climbed a little bit further within this rising channel. Then it found resistance at the top, at this resistance level, 1921, or somewhere at the previous high, 1930, I would say. And then it started to reverse, it came down. So in the 4-hourly charts, one thing you want to take note of is that this channel itself has been breached. Okay, let me just replot this channel for you. Something like this, okay? So this is the rising channel, and we saw that the price actually kind of broke below of this channel, pulls back and came down again, but still closing just nice at the previous closing price as well. But from what I see on in the very last 4-hourly charts, 4-hourly candle is still showing a more bearish buyer's goal in this case, probably due to a strengthening dollar going forward towards the election in the US. So I think this week we can start to look to sell the gold. So if let's say in the beginning of the week price came down, you can just wait for the pullback and try to sell the gain at the breakout level. So this entire zone will be very critical to sell the gold again. And of course, in terms of the retracement, this entire trend, well, this retracement has been completed, okay, and then the double top, if you want to look at it this way, it came down, broke out of this channel. So that is how I look at it as a more bearish buyer's scenario. But I do not think that it will go down very much. Okay, it depends. But you want to go a bit more short term in this case, because in any case, if you look at the daily charts, okay, from the time you start to pull back from the highest price and start to consolidate, okay, which is in August. Okay, right now it's October, so it's already about 2 months, close to 3 months already, because this is early August, and right now is late October already. So if we were to go back to previous, what happened previously, right, for the gold, whenever you actually reach a high, okay, you saw that it will go into consolidation for quite a sustainable period of time. In this case, like last year September, okay, early September, it actually completed the entire consolidation in about 3 months. Okay, somewhere about 3 months time. So right now we are close to that, and we do know that fundamentally, looking at the longer term, gold will appreciate. End of the day, all right, given the current economic situation, the pandemic, or even if, let's say, even the pandemic were to be over, there are still a lot of financial crises going forward. So gold is something that we definitely still appreciate in value with the background of, most of the major central banks are adopting very low interest rate or even negative interest rate, or a lot of monetary stimulus and stuff like that. So we do not want to look be too bearish on gold. So this week, however, you can still try to sell gold because of the technical breaks, and of course of the US dollar that might strengthen in this week. So that's very straightforward for the gold. Next, I want to share about the Aussie dollar. All right, so for Aussie, right, I think last week, all right, there's also news that from the RBA where they are considering additional bond purchases. I think they're also looking at cutting their rate further. So that's fundamentally something quite bearish for the Aussie. Technically speaking, right now in the 4-hourly chart, we are seeing that the price has pulled back and is about to retest a close to 2-month falling trend line, where you can see there's a supply zone right here. So this is pretty much straightforward. You can just wait for the price pull back a little bit further, okay, and see if there's resistance. You can actually try to sell Aussie dollar in this case, all the way, aiming at the previous low right here. So this is actually forming somewhat descending triangle. Okay, but of course, very importantly, if we look at the bigger time frame, such as the weekly time frame, okay, we do see that the reversal right here is actually very strong. Okay, ever since the price reversed right here, and break out of this entire trend line, right? So maybe go to the day charts. Okay, it came down very strongly. Okay, pulls back, got resisted, came down again. Now it's coming up. So with whatever we have right now, I think it's definitely okay for us to look to sell the Aussie dollar again this coming week. It's actually quite straightforward, just something additional to share, because I think we have a pretty good position to sell Aussie in this week. And of course, I'm also looking at dollar yen. Dollar yen can be quite ranging as of now, because dollar has been kind of strengthening, but at the same time, you can see that while the dollar is strengthening, the yen is not any weaker than the dollar. And I think that is also because of risk sentiment, and people are starting to buy Japanese yen, choosing Japanese yen as a better option for a safe haven currency. And I think there have been a lot of news going on where there are more investors actually investing in Japan, actually. And one of them is actually Warren Buffett. I think Warren Buffett has invested a lot in Japan recently. So that could also be one of the reasons, because when more people invest in Japan, eventually the currency value will strengthen. That's quite straightforward. And of course, do take note of the monetary policy this week for Japan as well. So that might give you some clue. But in any case, right here in the based on the technical chart we have, there's already a head and shoulder. So it came down, pulls back, and probably it might pull back a little bit further. I'm not too sure about that, but we will see. But if let's say it pulls back again somewhere, the neckline of this head and shoulder, that we'll have a chance, a better price to sell dollar yen in this case. Okay. Otherwise, right now we actually also have an inside bar candlestick formation in the day charts. So we got to see, all right, if let's say it's able to break higher, it might pull back a bit further. But if it goes down and breaks below, then definitely I will wait for a short pullback and sell it, and setting the stop loss just above 105 will be enough if this if it breaks out of this candlestick formation earlier in this week. Right, so that is for the dollar yen. The last but not least, something that we want to always talk about, the USD. So we are seeing that ever since somewhere in mid-October, okay, it actually reversed, okay, from the recovery, somewhere near the previous high of 29,000. and then it broke out of this rising trend line. So there's a reversal, there's a breakout of a rising structure. So that might actually prompt us to sell the US30 or US stock market. This week, I think there is, if we actually go to Trading Economics and look at the news, usually at the end of the week on the Sunday, okay, there's this thing called the week ahead, okay, something that you can actually take note of, all right, and it will give you a summary. And right here you can see that, okay, the earnings season is continuous. Alphabet, okay, Apple, Amazon, Facebook due to report their quarterly results, and this definitely have a very direct impact on the stock market itself. So that's something you want to watch out for if you're going to trade the US30, Dow Jones, or other indices such as the NASDAQ, S&P. But in any case, technically speaking, we do have a case to actually sell it. So I think for now it's quite straightforward. Okay, if it pulls back a little bit further, okay, retest the high, the resistance right here. Okay, if it's successful, then we can actually try to sell the US30 again and expect more pullback, okay, towards a lower level, which it might actually form a falling channel. So actually that's pretty much for the Dow Jones for now. And of course, you want to take note of the US election, because if it's Trump that wins, or if it's Joe Biden that wins, I think there will be a very different impact, a very different result for the stock markets. As of whether it will be bearish or bullish for any of the cases, that is something that I think we still need to observe. All right, so I'm not going to speculate on that. All right, so with that, JJ, do you still have anything else you want to share?
Nope, that's all for me, sir.
All right, so I think this week is quite straightforward. Okay, for myself, a bit more bullish on the US dollar to strengthen due to the US election. So there's a lot of pairs against the US dollar, major pairs that we can actually try to sell this week. All right, so that's all for this week, and thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week. Thank you.